guys, welcome to another video with me, A to Z Yoga. Oh no. Hey guys, welcome to another video with A to Z Yoga and me, Amy. Today is only going to be a short video. I want to really kind of look at the shoulders because I've been having a lot of requests about shoulder pain, and I've had certainly a lot of students come into class with shoulder aches and pains. So you don't really need anything for today. You just need a mat and me. So go and get yourself ready and I'll meet you back here. So I want to start just by understanding, or trying to get you to understand, how the shoulders are supposed to move. The problem that I seem to find a lot in yoga classes is generally this idea that people ask you to push your shoulders down. So anytime we're in anything like a downward facing dog, you seem to find people asking you to slide your shoulders down towards your bum, or up towards your bum, depending on what position you're in. But actually this isn't really very functional. When you're doing something that is a pushing motion, like a downward facing dog, which is pushing against the floor, you need your shoulder blades to be in pushing motion, where they are sitting on the back of the ribs and helping you to push your weight away from the floor. If you're trying to slide your shoulders away from you, what tends to happen is that as you're trying to do that, you then lose the control around the shoulders. And I mean, if just by me doing that and trying it there makes it so much harder. If you try it, you'll probably feel the difference. So what we want to try to avoid is this idea of sliding when we should in fact be pushing, and start to get a little bit of pulling action as well into our shoulder blades, especially if you are a yogi like me and you prefer to do mostly yoga. You don't get that much pulling action in yoga poses. It's really mostly pushing. Pulling is more, things like doing lat pull downs or pull-ups, anything that really makes you have to pull your body weight. But there is a trick, and there is a way that we can activate the pull muscles in yoga. So I'm going to cover that too. So first of all, let's look at how your shoulders move. You can sit in any position you like. You can sit on your knees, sit on a cushion, sit on a chair, you can even stand. But I want you just to stand or sit wherever you are and just take your arms to shoulder height. Now from here, just let the shoulders relax for a second. Pull the belly in, pull the ribs in. Let the body kind of relax into its neutral, natural position. And then we're going to lift the arms. And as you lift them, watch what happens to your ribs, watch what happens to your shoulder blades. So a natural movement of the shoulder blades as you lift your arms should be the shoulders wanting to lift. What happens to a lot of people though, because of this being told to slide the shoulders away from the ears, is that they lift and the shoulders stay stuck on the back. So I'm not sure if I can show you by me doing it very naturally, so I'm going to accentuate the movement a little bit. A natural movement would be lifting the arms, the shoulder blades slide up, and the ribs and the belly can then stay connected to where they are and connected to the back of the body. The unnatural movement, if I over accentuate it, would be the shoulder blades don't move, and then what that does is pushes the ribs forwards and pushes the chest forwards. This I see so much when I'm teaching yoga to especially new clients. My long-time students have now kind of started to come out of this habit, thankfully. And it is a habit that you definitely want to get out of, because if you're doing this in your daily yoga class, chances are you're probably doing the same thing when you're just going up to reach for a can of tomatoes. So if you're doing this every time you go and reach for something, every time you're doing that, you're jutting your ribs out. You're losing the connection from the shoulder blades to the back of the ribs, which is a really important connection to have. If we lose that connection, that's when you end up with things like frozen shoulders, which nobody wants to have. It's painful, it's uncomfortable, and it is absolutely reversible, but it takes a little bit of time. So you want to stop that from happening. So how can we teach our shoulder blades to move like this? I'll show you a few exercises. So let's stand up. And you're going to start by just, again, allowing your body to come into a neutral position. And just shrug your shoulder blades right up to your ears, as high as you can get them. So this movement in itself is starting to get the shoulder blades to move. And then slowly exhale, bring them back down. Do that again. Slide them up. And then exhale, let them come back down. And again, inhale, slide them up. And exhale, let them come back down. Now this time, slide them up, keep them up, and then bend your elbows so you're like you're holding a tray, your palms are facing the ceiling. And we're going to wiggle through the ribs, side to side. And you're going to try to keep those shoulder blades up. And you'll feel, if you really keep those shoulder blades up, that you feel this kind of almost pulling, but in a nice way, around the sides of the waist and around the sides of the ribs. If you let the shoulders go and you do the same movement with your ribs, yeah, okay, you're moving the ribs, but you don't get this same feeling of really releasing the muscles, the tissue and the fascia around the sides of the waist, which is what we want to do. So we're going to do that a little bit more. Keep the shoulders shrugged. Just take it side to side. And then keeping those shoulder blades up, we'll take them down for a second just to give them a rest. We're going to do the same shrug, but we're going to move the ribs in a different way. So slide the shoulder blades up and then see if you can take the ribs around in a circle. Try not to think about it too much. Often the thinking about it is what makes it difficult. Then go in the other direction. Keep the shoulders shrugged. I know your shoulders are probably like, ah, but it's killing me now. Think of this as a good thing. Those shoulders never slide up. You need to work those trap muscles a little bit, which is these muscles up here. Good, and then on your exhale, slide the shoulder blades back down. Now before I show you any other exercises, let's just see if that's made any difference to the movement in your shoulder blades. You might not feel much of a difference yet, but we'll see. So take the arms to shoulder height and then breathe in and lift the arms up and see if that will help you, that having done that movement, to get a little bit more of a natural slide with the shoulder blades. Now we're going to come onto all fours, onto our hands and knees, and we're going to see if we can get that pushing motion of the shoulder blades. So if you tuck your toes under, push down into your hands and your feet and push up to a little downward facing dog. Let your head relax. Push down into your hands, and then again with your shoulder blades you're going to shrug the shoulders up and down, up, and then it's not pushing them down, you're just letting the shoulder blades sit in their natural position. Push them up and down, up and down. Do as many of these as you can. They do get tiring. And then we're going to slowly come back down. That is a really great exercise to get the shoulders moving and to get the muscles in your trapezius working, because they're probably half asleep. So now that we've tried that out, again, let's see if we can get a little bit more movement in the shoulder blades. So arms back to shoulder height, keep the belly and the ribs in, and then just bring those arms up. See if it feels any easier, any different, and then bring them back down. A lot of this can just be that you need to start training that movement. So you might find each time you're doing this, you're still not quite getting what it feels like to slide the shoulders up and down. And that's absolutely fine. Just keep practicing these exercises and you will eventually get this sense of pulling those shoulders up and down. Now, I said I was going to teach you that little trick that you can do for pulling action in a yoga class. So there's a few poses that you can actually start to get the pulling muscles to engage. And one of the best ways, or one of the best poses, is in your cobra and upward dog. I'm going to show you an upward dog. I can't really show you a cobra because of lying on my tummy. But I'm going to show you a bit of a modified upward dog. So an upward dog, you can walk yourself out to plank, and then you come down through a chaturanga dandasana as low as you can go. This is also a great way, a great place to train the shoulder blades. So those shoulder blades stay on the back in that strong neutral position as you lower, and then as you come to your up dog, you pull back with your hands to pull forwards with your chest. I can't stay there for very long because it pulls a little bit too much on my belly, but you see what I mean, is this idea of hugging the hands back, pulling and almost sliding the hands back in your cobra or in your upward dog, to then allow the chest to actually open and come forwards as the shoulder blades engage onto the back of the body. Again, what I see a lot in yoga is people coming into cobra or coming into upward dog and their shoulders are up here in that push position, which actually in this pose is not when you want it. And this is partly due to the fact that in the other poses, you're not working the push muscles in your poses. You're only, well, you're just losing the muscles around your shoulder blades, basically, and the rhomboids and the trapezius and everything. So if you can get the muscles to work on that pulling action in your cobra and your upward dog, that would be fantastic. And then if you can work the shoulder blades in your chaturanga dandasana, in your kind of yoga press up, even better. So let me show you that one in a little bit more detail first. You're going to come from your plank position and just lower the knees. So you come to a baby plank position. You can have the feet flat or you can have them tucked under. I prefer tucked under because it keeps the feet a little more engaged. You hug the belly in, your glutes are engaged. Now you don't want to push and round the back here. Again, I see this a lot, but then the problem is you go from this to this and the shoulders are rounded. You don't want that to happen. Because you're going into a slow release motion, what you want is your shoulder blades to stay connected to the back of the ribs and towards each other as you slide down and back up. So it doesn't have to be a big movement. You don't have to go very low. You want to simply get the shoulders to stay in that position as you slowly lower yourself and then you push back up. So all of these exercises, I would suggest that you just practice, especially do the release ones first, so you get the movement in the shoulder blades, and then work on those two strength ones, doing the pulling and the pushing and working those trap muscles so that you're really getting those shoulders to work properly for you. And that's it, really. That's all I wanted to show you, is just a few exercises to get you understanding how to move your shoulder blades. And let's just do one last little test to see if the shoulders will move any better than they did before. So again, arms out in front, keep the belly and the ribs hugged in, and then lift the arms up. Try and keep the ribs and the belly hugged in. Let your shoulder blades move. And then bring the arms back and relax the arms down. So like I said, if you haven't quite got that movement yet, don't worry, just practice. If you have any questions about this, please put them in the comments box below. And please subscribe to my channel. The more people I have watching, the more videos I can make. So please subscribe to the channel and like and share the videos, so then more people can benefit from these videos and more people can get the word out about how to really get their shoulders to work properly in a yoga class. I'll see you next week. Have a wonderful week. Namaste.